you can always have your snipers hold fire and have them just scout in enemy territory, which is a good tactic. I mean, killing a sniper gives you 19 experience. That's almost a quarter. That's a quarter of a command point. And as you kill enemy units, you get green XP bubbles that pop up. Those give you command points. So basically, if the enemy's building early snipers, you kill his snipers, you're going to get a lot of command points really fast. You don't want to lose your snipers for nothing, like I did. That's going to give the enemy early command points. They're going to get things like early rangers, early firestorms. It's just not a good idea in general. The enemy's going to, get up all their, command point powers pretty quickly. So that Kettenkrad, right there. If you notice, the Kettenkrad came up past the MG in this building. It sort of went through the middle of those two buildings. It captured 5 points: this strategic point, this munitions point, this victory point, this fuel point, and this munitions point. And hold on 1 second. Okay, yes, sorry, just a little technical problem there. Okay, so yeah. Basically, that Kettenkrad captured so much territory from us, it really set us back. It started draining our victory points. It took a lot of our resources away. I mean, we have to go back and cap all those 5 points all over again. But basically, that's just... It's sort of a diversionary tactic, but it worked. It drained a lot of our resources. And making little sort of behind-the-lines capturing like that, that's a really good strategy in general. So here we're just going to watch this little encounter between a bunch of Panzer Elite Squad and this American forces. Okay, so as you can see, his Panzer Elite infantry just got completely pwned. We had an MG team, well, Gabe had an MG team, a bunch of riflemen, and 3 flamethrower engineers. And if you see that the enemy, if you're going in with like 4 Panzer Grenadier squads, I don't care if they're upgraded with rifles, you do not go against a force like that. For one thing, those bars are going to suppress you. For a second thing, those flamethrower engineers are just going to destroy you completely. 3 flamethrower engineers. Flamethrower engineers do a ton of damage. They do a lot of damage. They can just roast infantry with no problem. So as you can see here, I've started building some rangers. I'm trying to ranger spam. That's sort of the general thing I do when I go infantry. Rangers are fantastic units. As you can see, I just got some more rangers. Rangers are just great. They have bazookas, which are the weakest anti-tank weapons in the game that, starting infantry have. Piats are better, Panzerschrecks are better, true, but Rangers come with 6 members of squad. They're very tough. They have fire up. You can upgrade them with Thompsons and, maybe veterancy Rangers, a group of veteran Rangers with, Thompsons. That is a force to be reckoned with. Those Rangers are really powerful. So as you can see here, he's going in with a single squad here, most likely to kill my sniper. But he's just getting suppressed by this MG near my base. Gabe has a mortar team coming up. And he knows I have 3 Rangers there. He can't win. He knows that. But so it was right for him to retreat there. But going in like that to kill a sniper, if you've seen that the enemy has forces, is not a good idea. And here's another example that the Panzer Elite player is pretty bad. He has an infantry half-track loaded with a Panzer Grenadier squad, and he puts it up against 3 Ranger squads, and that just fails. You see I just blew up his half-track, got a bunch of XP. Rangers are, they'll take out light vehicles like that, no problem. If you know the enemy has Rangers, especially 3 Ranger squads, don't send in your half-track like that. It's just not a good idea. So yeah, I make a little ditch attempt to take out a Stuka, because I know he has Pioneers that can repair it if I don't kill it immediately. I try to use fire up here, but that MG is just taking me apart. I retreat on my Rangers before I lose the squads completely. Yeah, I've got my sniper in a building. That was pretty noobish of me. Here's a key: never put your snipers in buildings. I just don't do it, because snipers become visible when they're in buildings. You want to keep your snipers stealth. That's the whole point of snipers. Look, I lose my sniper here because it's in a building. If my sniper had been sort of next to that building, but not like actually in it, he wouldn't have seen it. It would have been able to kill his infantry, no problem. So snipers are worth a lot. They're worth 19 XP. They cost quite a bit of manpower for a single unit, as much as an armored car, more than an armored car in most cases. So just keep them protected. And yeah, his Stuka's sort of roaming around. I really wanted to kill that Stuka. As you can see, I'm healing and reinforcing my Rangers because I really want to go kill that Stuka. Because a Stuka with a rocket barrage, I think it's the most accurate rocket barrage unit in the game. More accurate than Nebelwerfers or mortar half-tracks, I'm pretty sure. So that Stuka, also if it got flamethrowers, it could be really just devastating towards me. And as you can see, I've teched up pretty quickly to tanks. We really need tanks at this point. The fact is that even though the territory in this map is to split 2 and 2, the fact that he's held the center with that early bunker, he's got an MG in his bunker. Holding the center like that has really put us back. As you can see, we're down to like 195 victory points. Now 194. It's not looking good for us. We have a lot of forces. Gabe is airborne right now. He's dropping in AT guns and such and paratroopers, but we have a lot of forces, but they're just sort of holding the center. That's why my Rangers are rushing in right now to try to blow up the bunker and fire up to take that middle victory point. So yeah, and his Kettenkrad is, oh god, that Kettenkrad is so annoying. His Kettenkrad makes a little run up here, but it just doesn't work. And if the Panzer Elite player, if you're going to make a rush like that to the north and just try to go behind enemy lines, you should be focusing on that unit because, you don't want to lose it for nothing. This is a little tactic I like. Firing up Rangers to rush in and then artillery striking as infantry. It works pretty well. As you can see, I kill a bunch of MTG teams. I get a ton of experience from this. That allows me to get up to, howitzers quick. I don't actually build howitzers this game, but, if I had, he would have done everything he could to take out that artillery. Okay, so Gabe's going to talk a little bit about using your infantry effectively.
Alright, so infantry are great when combining infantry forces. So, for example, riflemen are great for covering flanks and also moving forward and extending flanks. Now that MG team right there is great to cover your riflemen from, large force groupings like he has right there. The mortar team is great for killing suppressed units and just harassing the enemy and making him have to come to you if he wants to stop this, terror. And then the AT guns are great there, just in case he, comes in to counter me with some tanks, or armored cars in this case. And also I have the flamethrower engineers there to kill any suppressed units very easily, or if they bear garrison in buildings. And bars and flamethrowers are a great combo, just because you suppress with the bars, and then you go in with flamethrowers and just cook them raw, yeah. Alright, so I call in some airborne there to get some recoilless rifles to take out that armored car. And just to capture some points. Alright. Yep, I'm going in. And I'm securing this, and this is a great movement in relativity to the rest of the game. Alright, once I secure this bottom half right here, things go uphill. And he retreats right here, so we don't get many kills. Alright, here.
Yeah, often artillery is really effective, not only for destroying enemies, but making enemies retreat. If you really need to cap a point, like we really want to cap this strategic point right now, and we want to move out and just take that victory point. But they're great. Artillery striking somebody, often, if they have a large infantry mass, if the players microwing their infantry mass and they know what they're doing, they'll retreat their infantry immediately. It's just, it's basic. But then if you have more infantry you're coming up with behind, to capture that point, you did a lot there. And as you can see, my Rangers, I sort of knew my Rangers were kind of useless at that point. They weren't really going to do anything. I suicidally just fired them up into the enemy, territory. I saw what he had, though. He has a lot of MGs. He has a Stuka. He has some Pioneers. I know that now. That's going to allow us to fight more accurately in the center. As you can see, I've built a Sherman. I'm churning out another Hellcat, right? My first Hellcat there. Actually, I guess decided to cancel that. I'm sort of waiting to build a fuel for another Sherman. I find Shermans to be the best allied tank in general. Hellcats are really cheap. They cost less than a sniper. They only cost 300 manpower, but and they cost 55 fuel. But Shermans overall are the superior tank.
All right. Carl is obviously only referring to factional tank. All right. Doctrinal, the Pershing is obviously the best allied tank, but the Hellcat I love because you can get one free shot off on any tank because you can camouflage it. I mean, that's just so effective. Plus, you can get a 50 caliber machine, 50 caliber machine gun on that thing for 75 munitions.